Well, hello, and welcome back to Middle Age Moto. If you watched my last video, you know, it was 37 degrees. Well, it is 36. It's actually the same day, and because I've been gone, I figured I'm going to do a twofer while I'm out riding. And this was more of a question from one of my new subscribers. I'm going to paraphrase. He pretty much said that he was, or she was, looking for a bike to do a cross-country, I'm assuming United States, but it doesn't really matter, cross-country trip, and wanted to know a few things. One, have I experienced any transmission problems or stalling, and would I ride across the United States on this bike? And I answered, I believe I said, you know, I've never had those issues, but I also said, yeah, I would take this bike, as far as reliability, I would take this bike across the United States. Other than the little buggy stupid stuff, it's I'm 2 years in on the bike, and knock on wood, it has not left me stranded anywhere or stalled out or died or anything like that. Never had to have it towed. Okay, I guess that's a good thing. But that is a yes and no. I have a yes and no answer to that question. Yes, as far as quality, my perception of reliability, definitely. I think it would be a fun bike, you know, well, I'm not even going to say that. I think the bike would be physically fit to do that. But my no part of that question is, I don't really think this bike is designed. It's not designed. It's not that I don't think. It's not designed for that style of riding. First of all, it's a naked bike, so you get zero wind protection. The ergonomics are how you sit on the bike. You are leaned over a little bit, but the pegs, so that you have great handling, are pretty high. You know, they're not sport bike high and not sport bike back, but I'm not a tall guy and my legs are pretty tucked. You know, I feel a little bit in my right knee. I got a bum knee, and I feel a little bit of, you know, stretching in that knee. So, you know, and the bike really doesn't get very good gas mileage. I shouldn't say that. I mean, there's bikes that get better gas mileage, but it does like to drink some gas. So I average about, I'm going to go miles because I'm in the States, and you guys can convert it to kilometers. Yeah, I just warned that guy that there's 2 police officers. All right, back on track. The bike drinks some gas. I get about 180 to 190 miles per tank, and I'll post up how big the tank is here. I don't remember off the top of my head, but the bike is, as far as reliability, yes, but I'm good for about 2 hours on this bike, and this is just me. All right, as far as comfort on this bike, I'm good for about 2 hours, and then I got to get off and stretch. Now, everybody's different, but between gas and the fact that it's really, in my eyes, not designed, I would get, personally get something that you're got a little bit of wind protection and you're sitting upright. But I mean, there's YouTubers like I watch Richie Vita, and you know, I know the VFR is pretty comfortable, but he rode a VFR, I think it was across the whole United States. He shipped his bike over with some of his buddies, or his mates as he says it, and they rode across the United States. So I mean, you can pretty much ride whatever you want, but I just think that with the different climates, I would sway away from doing a cross-country trip on a Ducati Monster. I think there'd be more comfortable bikes, maybe something that you're upright, maybe, you know, I'm not sure, my back never really bothers me, but I'm sure that a long enough trip, I might be getting some back pain. So that's the long and the short. I've never had any issues with the shifting or transmission on the bike. It's pretty much been very impressive. Quick shifter's a little bit on the, there's a sweet spot for it to really shift smooth, and there's a certain level of throttle that makes it more smooth. It can be a little herky-jerky on you, but for the most part, everything works fine. Especially when I really use the quick shifter the most is under hard acceleration. That way you can just grab the handlebars, hold on, tuck yourself down, and you're not worrying about a clutch. You're just banging through the gears once you get up toward your red line or the area that you want to shift at. So that's phenomenal. Lower speed, it gets a little herky-jerky. But I mean, the bike, I have the Michelin Road 5s on it, so when I have been caught in the rain, phenomenal. The tires are really good in the rain. It's an enjoyable bike. It's like right now it's 36 degrees and I've got zero protection. I'm really cold. You know, I'm heading doing a loop here and heading back to the house because it's definitely cold. So sum everything up. Mechanically, yes, a Ducati, definitely. The new technology, the level of reliability that I'm seeing now, and my personal experience, definitely. My recommendation, if you want to have the thrill of a Ducati, it's not, in my eyes, nearly as good looking, but it's more apt for that style of riding, is the Multistrada. I think the Multistrada is a phenomenal bike, and they even have a V4 Multistrada now if you really want to park. But if you're trying to save some money, Multistrada's been out for a lot of years, so you could probably find a pretty good pre-owned one, and there's some people that tank some miles on those. I personally wouldn't buy, you know, for a cross-country bike, I would, and I'm kind of shooting my whole theory in the foot, I would go with a Japanese bike. And the reason for that is Ducati dealers are there's far and few between, where Yamaha, Suzuki, Kawasaki, you know, all those dealers will pretty much work on any Japanese bike. They're all very similar. So if you're traveling and you did have that, you know, unforeseeable problem, you pretty much have access to dealers. A lot of them stock a lot of the parts needed to repair the, you know, the bikes and all that kind of stuff. And you know, that's just my opinion on that. That would be another thing that would sway me from doing the Ducati, because, you know, there's not a lot of access to repair facilities if something happens. Kind of rambling on about the topic, but you know, I gave it some thought after I made that comment, and I just feel that there's better choices out there. You know, I was considering even like a Tracer 900. I think that's a neat little bike, and the price is kind of throwing me out because I spent quite a bit of money on this. I don't want to saddle myself with another bill. So with that said, it is really chilly out here today. It's dropped to 36 on my clock. My screen is fogging up. With that said, all right, so if you heard something you like, and even if you didn't, take a look at some of my other videos. I more or less just ramble on. I don't get into a lot of technical specs, so other than just kind of befriending you guys, That's going to be your main value. I'm a level-headed guy. I'm an avid biker, and I just like to shoot the crap with fellow bikers. I do YouTube because I enjoy YouTube. I enjoy the editing aspect of YouTube, and I have a passion for motorcycle riding. So a couple months I should be pulling the trigger on that new bike, and I'll do another video coming up on that bike. And with that, I'm gonna say farewell for now, and I will talk to you guys next week. If you heard something you like, give me a comment, give me a thumbs up, and subscribe, and join the journey as we grow.